wonderful people. I have had an interesting 2 weeks and I am exhausted. So I thought I'd make a small update video while I fix this monstrosity that I've made. While I was wandering around yesterday, I noticed that the shadows... I'll give you an example. Our lighting engine is horribly broken. And when you have carpenter's blocks that go along the side of somewhere, and solid blocks behind them, they make this weird pattern in the shadows, and I hate it. I have got a theory that I could fix it using transparent overlays just to put fake shadows in, but that's not appropriate for this area, and that's very ambitious. So yeah, I tried to replace all of this with... I had to replace it all with carpenter's blocks. And then I went round and removed everything that didn't need to be carpenter's blocks, so I could put normal levers back there, and it's about halfway done, but it's still a lot of work just to get rid of some annoying shadows, but I'm feeling pedantic this week. Oh, and then it just keeps happening, which is annoying. Does that actually... Oh no. If I place blocks on it, it doesn't get rid of it, so I absolutely have to not do that. Actually, I wonder if I could do that for every single block and make the bushes look thicker. No. Moving swiftly along from that idea. I have had an exhausting time. It all started not on Friday, but the week before that. I was looking after someone's dog, and I am not a dog person. I really don't like dogs. It's only a small dog, but it's very stressful. I don't like it when they look at me. I don't like having to understand what they're doing or keeping a constant eye on them. It's not my favourite. So that's what I was doing all weekend, and on Monday afternoon the dog went home, so I was looking forward to having a relaxing couple of days. And then on Monday night my uncle called and said he'd be coming over. He is currently dealing with my grandparents' inheritance. He lives a couple of hours away, so whenever he needs, or we need to get organised, he always visits by train. And he always stays here, so that means I can't, and I have to go back to my parents' house, which is sad and miserable, and falling down. So that was my plans for relaxation. Completely ruined. He only stayed overnight, but he's a very intelligent and polite man, but he's just crazy. It's also very stressful. It's almost as bad as looking after the dog. So he went, but then my granddad's car broke down, which is the car that my mother is currently using. So I had to stay at my parents' house because it's easier for me to get to work from there than it is from here if there's a problem. Well, the car didn't really break down, but it was losing a lot of water, so it had to be monitored and go in for repairs, which it finally did yesterday. So after all that fun, I returned here yesterday and thought, everything's going to be great now. It's going to be fine. And I was looking forward to going away this weekend. Every year we normally go away to a place on the south coast for... It's just an overnight stay, but we go with the same people every year, and last year we didn't go because someone had fallen down the stairs and broken their back, so they cancelled. And this year a load of people cancelled again, so the whole thing has been called off again. And I'm completely done. After all that, and then the thing I was looking forward to being cancelled, I don't know what to do anymore. All I did yesterday when I got here was sleep, so... And I've woken up today and... still not calmed down, apparently. Oh dear. Oh yeah, also last week, this is the only useful part out of all of it, is that I found out that I could sign up for a mobile contract with unlimited data. And using my phone as a hotspot, I can improve the internet that I can use greatly. Oh no, I did it again. Did I? Yes, I did. The average internet in this house is 4.5 download, or 4.5 megabytes download. It never ever goes above that. Ever. And the upload speed is about 0.6 megabytes, which is ridiculous, but it's still better than my parents' house, so it's kind of an advantage to be here instead of there when it comes to internet things. I found out that using my phone as a hotspot, I could get a very variable but much better speed. The download is normally from 10 megabytes to about 30 at off-peak times. And the upload is always about 10 upwards. Sometimes a lot better than the download for some reason. But yeah, now I have unlimited data, I can just use that all the time, which is... I was uploading the last video about, well, the one with me and Zach in it, that was an hour long, and my phone overheated, so I had to take it out of its case for that. So it's not an ideal situation, but it's improvement. And it doesn't cost me any more than I was paying before. So I'm excited about that. Oh no. So yeah, Pangaea is a bit happier now. Somewhat. It still takes ages to load in around this area, but of course it would. But I've noticed when I was in less intensive areas, it loaded slightly faster. I also really think it would help the Pangaea server if I stopped running it off of a external hard drive. And that's how it's been running for years now, and I always mean to put it on a permanent hard drive or give it a nicer home, but I never do. I think at one point we had the server running off of a RAM disk, and that worked really well for it, but of course now it's 42 gigabytes, that's the problem. I can no longer do that. I don't know if I could upgrade to get enough RAM to do that. Possibly not on this computer, it's getting on a bit. This computer's 5 now, and although it is very powerful, it's suffering a bit in its age. It takes it forever to turn on and do all those sorts of things. And I think that was it for my updates. It's going to take me a while to get back to normal. It will take about a week to calm down and stop being A, stressed about everything that was going on, and B, stop being disappointed about the only holiday I have being cancelled. Oh, whoops. I did want to plan to go somewhere by myself, but of course I got all the normal excuses from my mother, so I've put that off until I'm in a better frame of mind. Oops. And also any times that I did want to record Pangaea videos, I couldn't because I was still editing that 3-hour one for when Zach came back onto the server. The original file for that was about 280 gigabytes, and that took up all the space. And I know me, I know if I move it to an empty hard drive and put it somewhere else and tell myself I'll edit it later, I'll never get around to it, because that's how footage dies. But I did finally get around to editing and uploading that last week, or this week, I don't know. I don't know anymore, I'm too tired. I really don't like how big the Louvre is, that you can just stand in the middle of the courtyard and there's barely anything around. It's very unsettling. So So yeah, all that would explain the lack of videos and the lack of life over the past 2 weeks. I'm hoping to get more life. At least now uploading videos goes from, well, in the case of the 1 hour video, the last one that I uploaded, instead of taking about 18 hours to upload, it took about an hour and a half, so not fantastic, but a definite improvement. Definitely an improvement worth having. Have I finished? Yes. I do think it looks weird without the shadows, but it's fine. This is a big, bright and open area. It doesn't need shadows. And yes, if you're wondering, I'm going to take all future builds into... or... builds. What was I going to say? I give up. I hate this. I need to get back into... Wait a minute. I just realised I've done all that and it still happens on this part of the floor. But yes, I will change all... No. All future builds, I will take this into account. I don't know how to string those together into a coherent sentence, but... all future builds will be built to stop this from happening. So that's good. Far less stressful. Hopefully. What? Am I lagging? I also love how this pyramid's now got a bit of a wrecked part onto it and some weird overlay parts. This entire server is just a mess, isn't it? I need to deal with this. The next video, a tour of everything that's horribly broken that I need to fix. I'm sure that'll be a long and boring video. I might do that though, just to motivate myself to fixing it. But... okay, I'm done now. My complaining is over. I'm going to rest and hopefully do something useful.